Welcome back to another episode of Navigating Postpartum with me, Jaree Williams. And I'm so excited that you guys are tuning in. Y'all may saw it in the back today because he wants mom, but we're going to make it work. But today I have a special guest who inspired me to start my own podcast. And we have Britt. Britt, introduce yourself.
Okay, do not sit there and try to say I inspired you to start your own podcast, girl. You've been doing it. You had all of this before we even met. So stop it. Stop it. But hello, mamas. I'm excited to be on Navigating Postpartum. It's an honor, like I was saying, to actually be a guest, and you wanted me to be on here. So I am excited. My name is Britt Samuels. I am the founder and CEO of the Mom Dynasty. We are an organization and a community for mothers, bettering the maternal, mental, and public health care spaces, and just trying to create a village of support and create unstoppable mamas in the process.
Oh, that is so good. And you guys, she just threw a baby shower for the community. It was so amazing. Tell us about that whole experience. Just give us the behind the scenes of it.
Oh my gosh. So it was definitely an experience. I will say that it was a great experience. I only did it in 3 months. So I had the idea in September of last year, and December of that same year of 2023 was when I was going to make it happen. And I have never done an event, let alone a community event. I've never had sponsors, donors, any partners. I didn't know any other terminology. I didn't know anything. It was just placed on my heart to do it. And what's crazy was it was all after a conversation that I had with my husband, and he was talking to me about the structure that I had with the Mom Dynasty and my approach in certain things, in certain aspects. It was a very humbling conversation, but at the time, he was definitely killing my little ego. So I didn't want to accept what he was saying in the moment. But what he said was very, very true. And some of you may not know, but with my oldest son, I had very, very extreme bad postpartum with him. And I was very depressed. So in the midst of those moments, when you are depressed, you don't really see the support system that you may have. And looking back, I thought that I was just by myself and the whole thing going through it by myself. Nobody was there to help me. It was just me alone. But looking back, I had my mom that was there to help me. I had my brothers that were there to help me. And they were very active because with my second baby, there's a lot of things I'm going through that I really, truly, honest to God, don't remember going with my oldest son. That's how disconnected and just blacked out I was in those moments. So with a conversation with my husband, he was like, Brittany, your approach can come off as if it's so easy to do it. Like, you're doing it, you did it, whatever. You just do it. When in reality, you had help to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, you weren't there. You don't understand. I was by myself. But then when I sat in that conversation a couple of days later, because that's typically how it goes, you guys. I don't like to always admit he's right. So it takes me a minute to just reflect on our conversations. And then I'm like, dang, you were actually right. So when I thought about it, I was like, dang, you were right. And then I just had an emotional moment in that time because I'm like, I didn't really realize how much a help my mom was. Or I just, I went back to work when my oldest was 4 weeks old. So she watched him. And my brother, he was in high school, and he watched him some days while I went to work. And I really wouldn't have been able to do a lot of the things if it wasn't for them. So it made me restructure what it is I was the message I was wanting to send for one, and what I wanted the Mom Dynasty to be. So I was putting away all of our stuff from our baby shower with our second baby away. And that our conversation just kept playing in my mind while I was doing that. And I was like, support system, that's what women don't have. Yeah. But how can I go farther than just a podcast? How can I go farther than just social media posts that are encouraging? Like, women need actual help. And that was the conversation we were having. It was like, a lot of mothers they don't have families. They don't have friends. They don't have a husband. they are really by themselves trying to do everything. So the idea of going back to school or getting a better job or starting your business even, or doing anything for your own passions or your own dreams seems so far-fetched because you don't have anyone there to support you through that. So that's where the whole shift really came. And I was putting our stuff away and I'm like, wow, how many moms even get a baby shower?
Yeah.
How many moms have the family or have the support to get the basics, diapers and wipes, like to start there. So I'm like, a community baby shower. Okay, let's see how I can pull this together. And from there, it was just me reaching out to people. The first thing that was on my mind was like, okay, where am I going to have this at? So my first, and I posted it on social media in my story that I was wanting to do it. And then a couple ladies reached out to me and they were like, you could do it with the WIC office or the county or whatever. I was like, okay, so let me just see how I can do that.
Yeah.
So first county was like Douglas County. But they were wanting to charge. And I'm like, this is a community event. I'm not doing anything out of my pocket. So I will pass on that. And then I reached out to Sandy Springs area. And they led me to different suggestions. So they wanted money as well for their venues, but then they gave me also different resources to kind of think outside the scope of other places that will help me. So I ended up doing the Fulton County WIC office. First time I called, the girl took my information and she was like, I'll pass it on and you'll get a call back. And then like a couple weeks went by, nobody called me. So I called again and I was like, can I just have the email that you're using to send it over to that you're sending this information over to? And she was like, yeah. So I did that. I sent the email. The lady emailed me right back in a few hours. And I was able to have a space. So I was like, cool. They partnered with me to give me the space. Now it was just, as long as I had the space, everything else was fine. Like I was like, I'll figure out how to get these donations and stuff. Yeah. And from there, it was just reaching out to any and everybody that I could think of who would be a mother. Like how can we, bring all this together? The biggest one was Birth by Grace Midwifery. Like
yes,
when how we connected from Dr. Celestin, who owns Celestial Plastic and Reconstructive Surgery. So they follow each other. I used to work with the practice manager who's over that center. We worked together previously before COVID hit at another plastic surgeon's office. So she saw it and she was like, oh, Dr. Celestin would love to be a part of it. So that's how that connection was made. And then I went to Dr. Celestin's office, did a whole little tour of her facility. She's a mom and a plastic surgeon and a Black woman plastic surgeon at that, which is just rare across the board. So I was able to showcase her practice. That's where Birth by Grace and Miss Christine saw that one. And she was like, I've always been wanting to do something for the community. I just never had the capacity or the time to put it together. So I'm here to support whatever, you're trying to do. And from there, all of her patients were able to donate literally most of the items. And then I was able to just use all of those resources and honestly just shoot my shot wherever I could. So I'm like, I wanted to at least, my goal was to at least have 20 moms. I was like, I at least want to have 20 moms to be able to help. And then we were able to get 42 moms signed up after it got aired on the 11 Alive. So that really helped us be able to reach more people. And it was all just me sending out emails, me soliciting people, walking that fine line of being annoying and being persistent and just following up. Sometimes I got a response. Sometimes I got no response. Sometimes, people were giving me the runaround, but everyone that was supposed to be a part of it was a part of it. And it was just a great event. And now we're going to be able to do it every December, every second Saturday in December. So this year it'll be December 14th. I believe that's the second Saturday in December. And now the goal is to do 100 moms. So that's where that all started.
That is so amazing. I'm like, whoa, like you are in postpartum doing this. And by side note to all of that, it's crazy how our husbands can make us better. Sometimes they give us feedback that we weren't ready for, but that makes us better in the long run. So shout out to him for that. And I'm just like, how in the world were you able to do plan this baby shower and being postpartum, taking care of yourself, and you have an oldest son as well. Like, how were you able to manage doing all of that?
That was my postpartum, honestly. That was the thing that kept me, I guess, sane through it all.
Mhm.
I had something to work towards or something to look forward to, and then by that time I had people depending on me. Like I got too deep into it to even fall off. And
Mhm.
my goal with my second baby was to not be in depression like I was with my oldest. And what really caused me to even go into depression with my oldest was the idea that I had to give up everything. Because I was a mom now, all of my goals and ambitions, and I'm just an ambitious woman. I'm trying not to say girl anymore because I'm not a little girl. I'm a grown woman. All
Oh,
right,
you're a
married
grown
with two
woman.
kids. Like I'm a grown woman. So I am just an ambitious woman. I've always had that inside of me. And a lot of women aren't ambitious, and that's okay. It's totally fine to just be the mom and just bask in that whole energy in that role. For me, am I have to have my identity outside of that to keep me going. And the baby shower did that. It gave me a sense of purpose because this is my first time being at home with my baby. This is the first time me pretty much being the stay-at-home mom role. And I didn't want to fall back into those same habits, and just fall into that depressed state. So having this event was just my way of being able
Yeah.
to get through it. I had a purpose outside of it. I had stuff to work on. So it was like after the baby's asleep, my oldest is taken care of. His work is all out the way. I got something else to do. I have a baby shower that I'm putting on. It
Yeah.
also gave me my interaction that I needed because at the time I was also working from home. So a lot of my stuff is out of my house. So this gave me the opportunity to go out. I had a reason to go out, to go to different mom-owned businesses and connect with different women, and it gave me my social interaction as well, with people, which is what I'm a social person as well. I'm like sometimes I want to be introverted, sometimes I want to be extroverted. I don't know what that is called when you're a little bit of both, but it gave me my extrovert energy that I needed at the time, and then coming back home was my introvert time. So that was what kept me through postpartum. And I, hey, this is my husband asked that. How do you even do all that? I'm like, I don't know. That
Yeah.
is how my brain just works like that. My brain, I guess, thrives in having a lot of stuff going on, which can
Yeah.
be chaotic sometimes, which may not be good, but it just I just thrive in the just the excitement of just everything. So that was my I guess self-care through postpartum,
I
honestly, figuring out
absolutely
how to help out.
love all of this because it just shows that I know for me, as y'all know, during the day I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I'm still entrepreneur too. But it's like it's so important because I was talking to my husband about it the other day of how even though I'm at home and I'm a wife and I make sure the house systems we smooth, we good. But it's also just so important to have an identity outside of our family because one day the kids are going to grow up and your
Exactly.
spouse can have a life outside of their own. So then it's like, what am I left with? So for you to just even now in your new role of being at home, and like, I know you do a lot of things, but it's just like you having that identity to keep you going because oftentimes we just let our kids keep us going, but our kids are going to continue to grow and find their own community as well. So I love that you mentioned that. And for
Yeah.
mamas listening, I don't want you to feel like you got to go out there and do everything now. This is just another way of showing you guys how you can still show up for yourself in a way that works best for you.
Absolutely, because everyone doesn't, like I was saying, everyone doesn't have that
Yeah.
ambition to even start a business. They don't have that. You don't have that, those goals, and that's totally fine. But you do, like you said, have to find something that makes you happy outside of the roles of the wife and of the mother, because those can also lead to strains in your marriage or your partnership, your relationship. Because if you're, especially for stay-at-home moms, you see your husband leave every day,
Yes.
like you see his freedom, and sometimes that can cause resentment or jealousy when you feel that I'm just stuck in the house, I'm just stuck with the kids, like everything I do is around the kids. And that's what's important. If you just read a book and you just enjoy escaping through books, create that time for yourself to go and read your book and say, hey, when you get home at this time, I'm gonna let you decompress from being out in the world, but I need 30 minutes to read my book.
Yep, because I have a list of daily tasks because I'm like, every day I'm doing these things, and then like he understands, like, yeah, when you come in, I'm gonna let you decompress, but you're gonna do bath time so I can have time for me. Because like I do so much, and what I love too is like when your partner understands how much you do during the day without even them asking or requesting it.
Yeah.
But it's just like just giving you that time back is like showing you like I appreciate the work that you're doing.
Exactly. And also it's important to allow your husband to do those things and to take care of certain aspects, which is hard for me because again, this is all new. Like it's like I'm having my first baby over again. I'm married with a baby. So this is my first time having the father of my child in the same home together and working through that dynamic of being used to doing it by myself, doing it all, seeing my mom be a single mom and just do everything, and being able to relinquish some of that control over to him. Because like sometimes he'll do the dishes, he'll like do the household chores, and I'm just sitting there holding a baby. And sometimes I'm like, dang, I should be the one doing this or whatever. And then he's like, no, because you're with the baby all day. Like, it's fine. I don't mind doing this. And then the guilt does kind of creep in because, I come from my grandma they're very gender role and religious. So the women cook, clean, take care, like do all of that. And having your husband do that is just like, what are you doing? You're at home. Blah, blah, blah. But you have to find what works for you and your husband. That's the biggest thing. And you also have to be able to have a partner that, like you said, understands, that sees it. Oh, sorry, you guys. Hold on. Let me stand up because this little one. Okay. So finding what works with you and your partner. Okay, now. Okay, all right. Finding what works with you and your partner. Okay, for the third time. Let me try it this way. Find things that work. Make sure you and your partner understand, have that open communication. And it's just great when you have somebody that's supportive. It's a real blessing that a lot of women take for granted in their marriage. So I don't take it for granted at all. As if it wasn't for him, a lot of things I wouldn't be able to do. So I really, really don't take that part for granted. But it's definitely an adjustment.
Yeah, it definitely goes back to that asking for help factor too. Like sometimes we think like, oh, we got to do it all, when in reality, sometimes when you ask, like maybe for something small, it kind of, not like a light bulb moment, but it kind of helps you communicate what you need help with. And that's another way for your spouse to help you around the house. It's not really just you having to do it all, whether you work outside of the house, whether you're in the house, as a mom. Either way, sometimes we just have to ask for help and put, like how we talked about previously about perfectionism and all those things, just put those to the side so that you can show up better. You can do things outside of just running the home and taking care of the kids. And you may love doing that, but you still want to make sure that you still have time allotted for you.
Absolutely. It makes you a better mom, makes you more present, makes you enjoy things a little bit better. You're not so just drained and annoyed, because it can be definitely overstimulated being at the home all day, every day with little kids. Add on, we both homeschool as well. So it's just like, I don't get, to send you off somewhere. And it's my choice. So it's like, I don't complain about it because I choose not to send you to daycare or school. And that's, that's my choice.
Yep.
Exactly. But at the same time, it's just like, it's definitely overstimulating. Like it's a trade-off, but it's a lot. And I don't think we should feel guilty for asking for help, even though we've made decisions that will keep our children at home. But hey, no one can, like I was telling them, I know I asked for a second baby. Like, I get that. And sometimes I have moments where I'm like, well, Jesus, why did I do this? Why did I put myself in this? My baby's gonna be 7 in March. I was independent, everything, and here I am starting all the way over. But I take my accountability. Yes, I asked for it, but dang it, it's a lot, and I'm able to express that it is a lot. Girl.
Listen, because
If you think about
yes, and if you guys don't know, me and me and Brittany were pregnant at the same time, and so it's like us going through this journey. Like I was on her podcast when I first found out that I was pregnant with my second son, and so she was pregnant as well. So it's just funny how our journey just had aligned, and now we're in the same season, which is pretty cool because you just need that community. You need that village of women that you can relate to, and like just judgment free. Like you want to be able to talk to women and tell them like, hey, this is what I'm going through without people like trying to be like, oh, well, you asked for this. Like sometimes you just need that safe space to really talk about how you are feeling and just to be filled up on your own as well.
absolutely, because it's like they're natural feelings, no matter if I ask for it or not. A lot of us ask for high paying jobs, and then it's stressful, and then it's like, don't you shouldn't feel bad for complaining. Like, dang, I know I asked for it, but it is stressful, and you should be able to just communicate those feelings freely,
Yeah.
because they're normal, natural feelings.
Yes. I just want to say I loved having you on and just sharing so much. Like y'all don't understand. Like she's so amazing. And I want you guys to be able to follow her journey. So where can we find you? And what's next for the Mom Dynasty?
Yes, so you can follow me on Instagram at the Mom Dynasty. That's pretty much everywhere is the Mom Dynasty, and all the links to go to different resources and things are in my bio on there. What's next for the Mom Dynasty? We are really stepping into the nonprofit sector. So the goal is to just build our community. Our nonprofit is going to be very untraditional. Most nonprofits are ran by older people, older women, older generations. So to be pretty much a millennial founded nonprofit for moms, I want to make it different. Yes, we're going to have the resources, partnering with different organizations, but I want to give a fresh take to the nonprofit world, and have it more of a community based feel. So building a community, building out different programs, different partners, working on an event that I am truly wanting to bring to life in September. It's just about getting these couple partners on board. If I can secure that, or when I secure, I'm not going to say if, when I secure those, then you guys will know more about it. We're working on a big campaign for May, which is the mental health awareness month. So I want to do a big campaign with that, which Jaree, I will talk to you about that once we get everything up and rolling. I'm just in the planning stages of everything. And then of course our community baby shower will come again in December. So working with different partners as well to be able to have better items, more items. We ran out of a lot of diapers at the actual event. So getting different sponsors to make sure we have all the essential items that we need. So that's where I'm at, really just stepping into this community-based organization and seeing where God takes it. Because I'm just doing God's work, you guys. I'm just out here doing the Lord's work.
I want to say
So
that
just
you are
follow
doing a
for
great
Instagram.
job at it, and I appreciate all that you're doing for the community. It makes me smile, like, oh, it's just so amazing. And I'm just so happy for you because I know it's a lot, doing the things of like, growing businesses and showing our skill sets outside of motherhood. But it's worth it because we're able to pour into other moms who are in need of it as well. So I appreciate it. And what is one tip before we wrap up? What is one tip you will give a new mom right now?
One tip that I would give a new mom is that you didn't make a mistake. I know sometimes motherhood, especially if it's unplanned. I know my oldest was very unplanned. So if you have been unplanned pregnancy and you're entering motherhood and you're taking on the full responsibility, it is not a mistake. All things work together for good. Just hold on to that. Hold on to God's promise of that. And I promise you, it is going to work itself out.
Yes. Ooh, that's good. That is good right there. And I am filled. I appreciate you coming on. And mamas, y'all let us know what you thought about this episode. Make sure you leave a review because y'all know I love to see a good review for navigating postpartum. And then until next time.